Now, everybody, it's Tim Reazor with Revere Asset Management, just after 4 o'clock here on a Wednesday night. So very quickly, stock market market levels before you and I begin the podcast. Listen, this week's podcast is a lot of fire. Uh, I think you're going to like it. It's going to build upon what we're talking about tonight. And if you haven't watched or listened to it, please do so, because I think you'll really enjoy practical help right away from the start. And I think you'll really enjoy that. And then listen, before we get started, so what I'm going to do is I want to show you different levels, and I want to talk Tesla, because we're getting signals on the indices that I want to show you. We're going to talk Tesla. I want to talk CMG towards the end of the video, okay? But listen, any questions, concerns, comments, take umbrage with anything that I'm saying. All you have to do is email me to revereasset.com, 855-732-5932. Listen, if you want to talk to the fellas in the shop that buy all the stocks, sell all the stocks, put the stocks on the watch list. Let's see, Hunter, Alex, Don, they're all right there for you. Everybody in our world is accessible. So you want to talk to Muriel, please do. She'd love to chat you up. But most people, they want to talk to America's fiduciary right here, Danny Stewart, because Danny has been helping people maximize their portfolios for a very long time. And what I mean by that is making sure you understand that life insurance is an investment, how you're still paying fees on an annuity you bought 15 years ago. And Danny is one of the best, not only planners, but I'll tell you, his CFA background serves him so well and our clients so well. But he also does a lot of this. We do all the work for our clients for free. If you're a client of the Revere, you get all of our life planning stuff for free. We don't sell insurance or any of that nonsense. So you get honest, unbiased advice from him. But more importantly, if you're not a client, there's no sales cycle. People watch our content, and all of our client base comes from word of mouth. And so if you want to become a client or investigate that, fantastic. If not, you just want to watch and learn and talk, great. We're here to empower individual investors. So glad to have you on board. So any questions with that, don't ever hesitate to call us 855-732-5932. Listen, I love it when you interact with me on Twitter. Just at TJ Reazor is my handle. My DMs are open. You can always feel free to DM me as they show up right here. It's just like we're texting buddies. If you think you get lost in my inbox, which that happens a lot, not on purpose. I just when people email, they're longer answers, but when you text or when you tweet with me, it's more like texting, and the brevity is our best friend there. So listen, stock benchmark levels. These videos are for what? Your edification purposes only. They're never ever to be misconstrued as advice. When advice needs advice, seek advice. All you have to do is, in fact, give me a call or give us a call. So real quick, I want to show you something that happened last week here. So I talked about all these fib levels on the podcast, but we held that 50% retracement. We held it 3 days in a row, and now we've got a really interesting signal with this white bar. And look, there is a group, a community of stock nerds and market lovers just like yourself. We don't own the group. It's just administered by a few folks that love the work that we do here, and they've taken it and they've run the ball with it, and they've taken things that I've talked about and they created these white bar charts, and they discuss them, and it's a Zoom group, and you can join it if you want the information. Just tweet me or email me. A bunch of great folks in there that all they're looking to do is, they're great people looking to help each other get better every day. Not a tout service, not telling you what to do service, but constructive education is what I would say for each other. And so anyway, these white bars, they're a thing of beauty, right? 5/8 crosses with some volume, and there's a few other things in there, but the crux of it is momentum. And so it's super interesting to me. We come down, we hold this 50% retracement level. We got a white bar here that it reverted to the 50% retracement, but now that we've held that level, look at this. See, what's subtly different about this white bar, the 5 is below the 8. And what's subtly different about this white bar, the 5 is above the 8, which is above the 21, which is above the 34, which is above the 50. That's sequential. So that's a moving average stack. That's beautiful. And what's super interesting to me here about this signaling, so I have this stock nerd set year to date. So we're going to go all the way back just to January. So let's do that together. There we go. And so how many white bars do you see here? So my cursor is lower left-hand side of your screen. In fact, let me move volume down. And so you can see you've got a move here on the white bar. It's a pretty good move. this white bar, and what I'm looking for is how many times do you get the white bar signal and what does it resolve to? So here's a white bar signal, and then remember, you want moving average stack. You don't want the 5 coming below the 8. You can see the 5's coming below the 8 on that, whereas the 5 is coming through the 8 right here. And so really big difference. So when you have a white bar with the moving average stack, what are those results? And you can see here, hard to tell, but it looks like it rolled over. But here you get a nice little pop. Look at this here. When you get the moving average stack, that white bar, those are nice gains, right? Where's another opportunity for a white bar? Ooh, white bar appears to be moving average stack. Nice gains. White bar, moving average stack. Nice gains. Ooh, white bar, right? White bar, but not a moving average stack, right? So a white bar, so let me just write this down so you understand what I'm getting at. When you have the white bar, there's technical things behind that signaling, okay? And when you have the, we'll call it moving average stack, they tend to work out better, right? Than when you have a white bar with non X. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. I just wrote Xmas when you have, I meant X as in there's not a moving average, but that is funny. Okay, so when you have an Xmas, they tend not to work out, but when you have a MOS, they tend to work out. And so like, let's take a look at another one here. So here's moving average stack. It appears white bar, moving average stack. No, excuse me, no moving average stack, white bar. When's the next time we get a move? Oh, moving that, we just talked about that one. White bar, 5 is below the 8, but now we have a white bar and the 5 is above the 8. We're getting sequential ordering in the moving averages. Super interesting, right? And so let's do this one more time. Let's come to the NASDAQ. Dun, 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 dun. Let's double check that time frame and year to date, we're okay. And so you can see the same thing, kind of moving average stack, white bar, moving average stack. Not a moving average stack, doesn't work itself out. You're just looking for the bars of white, moving average stack, sideways, to up. Okay, moving average stack to up, moving average stack. It's hard to tell right there if that one worked out or not. I mean, if that's a moving average stack, pardon me. Then now we have a moving average stack white bar. So when you have that moving average stack along with your signaling, and there's technicals here in that white bar, really powerful signaling. Let's do it one more time together, folks. And so here we go with the YMs. Oh, look at this. Okay, moving average stack, moves higher, moving. Oh, this is moving average stack, but look, it resolves to the low side. See, not everything's always going to work out. That appears to be moving average stack, doesn't work out. Oh, moving average stack does work out. Moving average stack does work out. Moving average stack works itself, work it. Okay, moving average stack. Ooh, then it rolls over. And so you get the idea. So when it doesn't work out, what are some signals you're looking for? Well, how about a close? How about 1 to 2 closes below the 21? You know what? I'll just draw an arrow below the 21. So when you start closing below the 21, it's a really good indication that it's not going to work out. And someone might say, well, Tim, what if I just bought it and held it? Look, it's a market and anything can happen. So we've had shallow selves, like the 5% variety this time. But look, are you going to get 35% like you did in March of 2020? Listen, I get it. They're not the norm, especially all that velocity to the downside in such a compressed time frame. But I mean, if you're 60, 55, consider retiring, and you take a couple 20% drawdowns, yeah, it starts to add up, and then you start to get pensive. So I was talking with someone the other day, and I think the text was, the signal is a signal, and that's why it's the signal. You take the signal. So when you get, we were talking about something back and forth, and it's like, yeah, when you get your signaling, you take your signal, and if your signal is like a white bar moving average stack, well, maybe you go look for something to do, not because out of boredom, but because you got your signal, whether that's in the indices or another stock. There's something to be done. And so, but it's always position sizing and always with the sell discipline in case it doesn't work out, because it's a market and anything can happen. So I promised you some Tesla. So I want to talk Tesla. Someone might say, what's the thing about this chart about Tesla? What's Tesla done for you, Tim, lately? This is a daily chart and there's no moving average stack, 21 above 5. This looks like it wants to potentially resolve itself. This is a really nice consolidation, and you can see it much more clearly. I can see clearly now. Tesla is here. You can see, look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. I mean, now, whether it resolves to the upside or not, I don't know. But I do know that this pennant that's forming is going to be tighter and 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 tighter until it either pops out to the upside or breaks to the downside. And you've held that level of support. And so it looks like, now, again, these videos are for edification. So you're just looking to say, oh, okay, do I see any kind of momentum underneath in the smaller time frame chart? So I'm on a 195-minute chart right now. Okay, I see the 5 coming through the 8. Let me take it down to just the lowest time frame I'll look at with you. Oh yeah, 78-minute chart. Okay, 5 through the 8 right here, around 1027. Well, at 1068 right now. And it looks like it wants to maybe potentially follow through a little bit higher. How much higher? Can you tell me how much higher? Oh, yeah. And so I can do that. Well, look, here's the mean. So you've on a 78-minute chart, you've gone from -3 ATR up here. Is it a stretch to think that you could go like to 1080, 1090, maybe one more ATR higher? It's not a stretch to think that you would do that. Will you do that? I don't know. But I do know that on a weekly chart, that, my friends, now keep in mind, it's a weekly chart. So for the next consolidation. Let's also look at Chipotle. So what's up with Chipotle, right? One of my favorite stocks. If these people just opened up a day part menu, what do I mean by day part? Breakfast. This stock would be a gazillion dollars. Gazillion with a G. And so, but look, you can see down here, I don't have a moving average stack. Not the, I mean, this chart's not that great. I mean, we can all agree on that, right? But look, I got a white bar. Okay, I just got done telling you though that white bars tend to work out better when there's a moving average stack. And so I know that discipline trumps sentiment, right? Like it's a hard phrase, discipline trumps sentiment. It sounds robotic, but it's what you got to do, right? To actively participate in this game over the long haul. And I'm just looking for white bars and see how they resolve. Well, this is not clearly a moving average stack, hot mess, even though it went higher, but then it rolled over. Okay, here's one. Do we get a moving average stack? Will we get some white bars ahead of the 5, the 8, the 21, the 34, the 15, the 200? And that was some nice gainage there. So what am I doing here by bringing you this chart? Just giving you a heads up that a white bar showed up. Maybe it's not today. Maybe it's not tomorrow. Maybe it's not next week. But you have to have a watch list. And maybe this is the stuff you want to watch. Oh, I got a white bar a couple of days ago. Do the moving averages want to resolve? And so we'll take it down to a 195-minute chart. Well, they're not resolving down there. Are they starting to resolve on a 78-minute? Oh, 5, 8, 21, 34, 50. Oh, you dastardly 200. Getting close. So anyway, stock nerds and market lovers, I hope that helps. I hope it was clear what I was trying to communicate to you. And if not, then you're like, Tim, I don't know what in God's green earth you were talking about. All you have to do is listen, reach out to us. Danny is the best interpreter on the planet. 855-732-32. Danny picks up the phone day and night. So listen, we are here for you. So with that, hope you have a good night, and I will see you. Oh, I'm so glad I just did that. Real quick, one last bonus segment here. So listen, this is for Friday, okay? Friday's a big day for the market. Inflation. You're going to get inflation numbers. You're going to want to watch the TNX. You're going to want to watch the dollar. And then at 9 a.m. Eastern, you get consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment is one of the things you can chart. Consumer sentiment is one of the leading indicators I have found that when this starts ramping up ahead of stock prices, we're a consumer-driven economy. So if these people are happy, the market's happy. If these people are starting to sour, oftentimes it's tough-sided. But do the work yourself, okay? When you're charting consumer sentiment, see if you come up with the results I've done over the last couple of years. So with that, stock news. I hope it helps, and I will see you at the next update.